Mama, please. Blessing needs medicine. The doctor said we must buy it today. Elizabeth holds the prescription in her trembling hand, watching her husband Kelvin count 50,000 naira into an envelope. He seals it without looking up. I'm sending this to my mother. She needs it for her upkeep. But Kelvin, our daughter, my mother raised me. She sacrificed everything. This is the least I can do. He walks past his wife, past his 3 children sitting quietly on the worn sofa, and leaves for the post office. That envelope contains more money than Elizabeth has seen in 6 months, and their 6-year-old daughter Blessing is burning with fever on a mat in the next room. Kelvin is 35 years old and works as an accountant in Port Harcourt. Every month, his salary is 420,000 naira, and every month, without fail, he sends 500,000 naira to his mother Amanda in the village. Not 50,000, not 150,000, 500,000 naira. He borrows from friends, takes loans from colleagues, and scrapes together every extra kobo to meet that amount. Because his mother expects it. Because she calls every week to remind him. Kelvin, have you sent this month's money? You know I'm suffering here. You know your father left me with nothing. Elizabeth is 32 years old and has been married to Kelvin for 8 years. She teaches at a primary school and earns 65,000 naira monthly. From that salary, she pays for food, pays school fees for their 3 children, buys their clothes, handles medical bills, and covers every single household expense. Kelvin's salary, it goes to his mother. All of it, plus extra. This Tuesday morning, Blessing woke up crying. Mama, my body is hot. My head is paining me. Elizabeth felt her forehead and her heart dropped. The child was burning. She carried her to the clinic down the street. Dr. Abimbola examined Blessing carefully, took her temperature, checked her throat, and wrote a prescription. It's a severe infection. She needs this antibiotic immediately. The fever is very high. If you delay, it could get worse. The medicine cost 20,000 naira. Elizabeth checked her purse. She had 8,500 naira left from her salary. School fees had taken most of it. She went home and waited for Kelvin to return from work. Kelvin, Blessing is very sick. The doctor says we need to buy medicine urgently. It's 20,000 naira. Kelvin frowned. Elizabeth, you know I'm sending money to my mother this week. I can't touch it. But our daughter, ask your school if they can give you advance salary or borrow from your friend. I can't help you now. My mother is counting on this money. Elizabeth stood there, watching him count 500,000 naira into the envelope like he did every month. She said nothing else. She simply walked away. That evening, 9-year-old Happiness watched her mother boil water and put a wet cloth on Blessing's forehead. Mama, is Blessing going to be okay? Yes, my child, we'll manage. But Elizabeth knew boiled water and cloth were not antibiotics. She knew her daughter's fever was climbing. She called her friend Grace. Please, I need to borrow 12,000 naira. I'll pay you back on salary day. Grace sighed. Elizabeth, you still haven't paid the 15,000 you borrowed last month for Isaac's school uniform. I wish I could, but I can't keep lending. Elizabeth understood. She had borrowed too many times from too many people. She was out of options. That night, Blessing's fever got worse. The child couldn't eat. She couldn't even drink water. She just lay on the mat, her small body shaking. Mama, I'm cold. Elizabeth covered her with every wrapper she owned, but Blessing kept shivering. At midnight, Kelvin came out of the bedroom and saw his wife sitting beside Blessing, applying cold compresses. You're still awake? She's getting worse, Kelvin. Please, just 20,000 naira. I told you I don't have it. Stop disturbing me. You're a teacher. Figured it out. He went back to bed. Elizabeth stayed awake all night, praying. Wednesday morning, Kelvin left early to send his mother's money through the bank. While he was gone, Elizabeth took Blessing back to the clinic. Doctor, please, can I pay half now and half next week? Dr. Abimbola shook her head gently. Madam, this is a pharmacy matter. I don't control their payment terms, but this child needs that medicine today. Her fever is now 40 degrees. This is dangerous. Elizabeth carried Blessing home. She tried one more time. She went to Kelvin's older brother, who lived nearby. Brother Philip, please. I need 20,000 naira for Blessing's medicine. I'll pay you back by month end. Philip looked uncomfortable. Elizabeth, you know Kelvin earns well. Why are you borrowing for your own child's medicine? He's sending money to Mama Amanda. Philip laughed. A short, bitter laugh. That woman again. Every month 500,000 naira, and she still calls asking for more. Elizabeth, I cannot come between my brother and his choices. I'm sorry. Elizabeth walked home slowly. 7-year-old Isaac met her at the door. Mama, Blessing is talking strange things. She's saying she's seen ants on the wall. Elizabeth ran inside. Blessing was mumbling, her eyes half closed, her lips dry and cracked. Hallucinations. The fever was affecting her brain. Panic seized Elizabeth's chest. She grabbed her phone and called Kelvin. Kelvin, come home now. Blessing is hallucinating. She needs the hospital. I'm in a meeting, Elizabeth. Handle it. You're her mother. Kelvin, I'm begging you. He hung up. Elizabeth made a decision. She took the small gold chain her own mother had given her on her wedding day, the only valuable thing she owned. She went to the jewelry shop. How much can you give me for this? The man examined it. Madam, this is 18,000 naira. Please, sir, can you make it 20,000? My daughter is dying. He looked at her face, saw the desperation, saw the tears. Okay, 20,000. Elizabeth took the money and ran to the pharmacy. She bought the antibiotics, brought them home, and gave Blessing the first dose. Within 2 hours, the child's fever began to drop. By evening, Blessing opened her eyes properly. Mama, I'm hungry. Elizabeth wept, not from joy alone, but from the weight of it all. She had sold her only treasure to save her daughter, while her husband sent 500,000 naira to his mother that same day. Thursday evening, Kelvin's phone rang. It was his mother. Elizabeth could hear her voice from across the room, loud and demanding. Kelvin, I received the money, but it's not enough. I need you to send another 100,000 this week. The church is doing a Thanksgiving, and I want to make the highest donation. Kelvin's face tightened with distress. Mama, I just sent 500,000. I don't have another 100,000 now. What kind of son are you? You want me to be ashamed in church? You want people to say my son abandoned me? Send the money by Saturday. She hung up. Kelvin sat down heavily. Elizabeth watched him. So you will find 100,000 for Thanksgiving donation, but you couldn't find 20,000 for your daughter's medicine. Don't start, Elizabeth. Start what? Telling the truth? Blessing almost died on Tuesday. She was hallucinating. I sold my wedding chain to buy her medicine. My wedding chain, Kelvin. He looked up, surprised. You sold your chain? What choice did I have? You chose your mother over your child. Kelvin stood up, his voice rising. My mother sacrificed for me. You don't understand what she went through. And I'm sacrificing for your children. Who will understand what I'm going through? They stared at each other. Then Kelvin walked out. He didn't come home that night. Friday afternoon, Amanda called Elizabeth directly. This was rare. The woman barely acknowledged her daughter-in-law's existence. Elizabeth, Tell Kelvin I'm still waiting for that 100,000. He's not picking my calls. Elizabeth felt something break inside her. 20 years of silence, 20 years of swallowing words. Not today. Mama, Blessing was dying this week. Kelvin had no money to help his own daughter because he sent everything to you. Amanda's voice turned ice cold. Are you blaming me for taking care of my needs? A good wife supports her husband's family obligations. A good mother doesn't drain her son until his children suffer. The line went silent. Then Amanda spoke, her voice shaking with rage. You are teaching my son to disrespect me. You are poisoning him against me. I will deal with you. She hung up. An hour later, Kelvin stormed into the house. You insulted my mother? I told her the truth. You had no right. You will call her and apologize. Now. No. Kelvin stared at his wife. In 8 years of marriage, she had never refused him. What did you say? I said no. I will not apologize for protecting our children. I will not apologize for speaking truth. Your mother receives 500,000 every month while we struggle, while Blessing almost died, while Happiness wears torn uniforms. While Isaac studies under candlelight because we can't afford electricity. No more, Kelvin. If you don't apologize, you can leave this house. Elizabeth looked at her husband. This man she had loved, respected, obeyed for 8 years. I'm not leaving, but you need to choose. Your mother or your family. You cannot serve both. Saturday morning, Kelvin packed a bag and went to the village. He was going to see his mother, to apologize for his wife's disrespect, to give her the 100,000 naira he had borrowed from his colleague. When he arrived at his mother's house, he was confused. The compound looked different. There was a new gate, a freshly painted fence. He went inside. His mother was sitting in the parlor, a new leather sofa, a new television, 55 inches on the wall, a new AC humming quietly. Mama, where did all this come from? Amanda smiled. I've been fixing up the house small. Do you like it? But, Mama, you said you were suffering. You said you had nothing. Well, I needed to make the house comfortable for my old age. Don't worry. You're taking care of me well. Kelvin walked outside to the back. There was a new kitchen, modern cabinets, new gas cooker. He opened the storeroom. Bags of rice, stacks of provisions, cartons of drinks, enough to last a year. Something clicked in his mind. He went back inside. Mama, how much do you actually need per month? What kind of question is that? Are you becoming stingy like your wife? Just tell me. Food, bills, everything. How much? Amanda waved her hand dismissively. 50,000, 60,000. But a son should give generously, not calculate like a trader. 50,000 naira. But she needed 50,000. And he was sending 500,000 every month for 8 years. Where was the rest going? He looked around the renovated house. He understood. You told me you were suffering. I was suffering. Look at how old this house was. You told me you had nothing. I had nothing nice. A woman my age deserves comfort. Mama, my daughter almost died this week because I didn't have 20,000 naira for medicine. Amanda shrugged. Children get sick. They recover. You survived without medicine many times as a child. Kelvin felt something he had never allowed himself to feel toward his mother. Anger. My wife sold our wedding chain to buy the medicine, while I sent you 500,000 naira to renovate your house and buy leather sofas. Are you blaming me for your bad management? My daughter hallucinated from fever. I wish she could have died. And you wanted another 100,000 for Thanksgiving donation. Kelvin, are you disrespecting me now, after everything I did for you? What did you do, Mama? Tell me, what did you sacrifice? Amanda stood up, her face twisting. I raised you alone after your father died. I suffered. Papa died when I was 22 years old. I was already in university. You raised me, yes, and I've been paying you back for 8 years. 4,800,000 naira. That's how much I've sent you. For what? For leather sofas and Thanksgiving donations while my children suffer. The truth hung in the air between them. Amanda said nothing. Kelvin picked up his bag. I will send you 50,000 naira every month. That's enough for your needs. The rest is for my family. If you do this, I will curse you. I will tell everyone you abandoned your mother. Tell them, Mama. Tell them everything. Tell them about the leather sofa and the new TV. Tell them how much I've sent. Tell them my daughter almost died. Tell it all. He left. He drove back to Port Harcourt in silence, his mind replaying 8 years of choices, 8 years of borrowed money, struggling children, and a suffering wife. He arrived home Sunday evening. Elizabeth was bathing Blessing, who was fully recovered now, laughing and playing. Happiness and Isaac were doing homework at the table. His wife looked up when he entered. She said nothing, just looked at him. Kelvin knelt down, right there in the parlor. I'm sorry. Elizabeth's eyes filled with tears. I saw Mama's house. I saw the renovations, the new things. I saw where the money was going. Elizabeth, I've been a fool. I almost killed our daughter. I almost destroyed our family. I chose wrong. I'm sorry. Elizabeth helped him up. She didn't say, I told you so. She didn't list his failures. She simply said, we can start again. Monday morning, Kelvin went to his bank and cancelled the standing order to his mother. He set up a new one, 50,000 naira monthly. That same day, he bought Blessing new school shoes. He paid the electricity bill. He gave Elizabeth money for groceries. Real groceries, not scraping money together. He called his creditors and began paying his debts. Tuesday, he sat with his children. Papa has been foolish. I wasn't taking care of you the way I should. That changes now. What do you need? Isaac spoke first. Papa, I need a reading lamp. We can't see at night when the power goes. Kelvin bought him a rechargeable lamp that same evening. Happiness said, Papa, my school uniform is torn. He took her to the tailor the next day. Blessing climbed on his lap. Papa, I just want you to stay home with us sometimes. He held her close. I will, my Blessing. I will. 3 months later, the house was different. There was laughter. There was food. The children came home excited to show their father their schoolwork. Elizabeth smiled again. Real smiles. Her face looked younger. Kelvin came home every evening and asked, what do you need? What do the children need? He started saving, not for his mother's leather sofas, but for his children's education, for emergencies, for his family's future. Amanda called once a week now, angry and demanding. You've abandoned me. You're a wicked son. Kelvin stayed calm. Mama, you receive 50,000 monthly. That's enough. My children come first. She stopped calling eventually. The village heard the story, of course. Some people judged him, but many said, that woman was bleeding him dry. His wife almost lost a child. He did right. One evening, Elizabeth found Kelvin looking at her wedding chain in a small box. He had gone back to the jewelry shop and bought it back, paying double the price. I can't replace what you sacrificed, but I wanted you to have this again. Elizabeth took the chain, but what mattered more was what it represented. Her husband had finally seen her, had finally chosen them. Kelvin learned what 8 years of blindness could not teach him. A man's first responsibility is to the family he created, not the family he came from. He learned that honoring your mother doesn't mean destroying your wife. That respect doesn't mean unlimited money. That sacrifice must have boundaries, or everyone drowns together. He had sent 4.8 million naira to renovate a house while his children wore torn clothes and nearly died from treatable illnesses. Money that could have educated them, secured their future, built their lives. What is generosity if it destroys the innocent? What is honor if it costs you your child's health? What is respect if your wife must sell her dignity to save your daughter? In the end, Kelvin discovered that the richest man is not the one who sends the most money away, but the one whose children are healthy, whose wife is cherished, whose home is filled with peace. True honor begins at home. Everything else is just performance. What lesson hit home for you in this story? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. If you want more stories where families find their way back to what matters, subscribe and join our community. You're welcome here.